Hello everyone. A couple days ago, well, one day ago to be precise, I had the opportunity to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas over the Thanksgiving holiday period. And in Fayetteville, Arkansas, it's the home of U of A, the University of Arkansas. Go Razorbacks. And I got the opportunity to go to a huge bookstore that is there. And on the side of the building, scrawled along across it, it says, out-of-print books and used books. It's a bookstore that has books back to the 1800s. And this thing goes on forever. It is the biggest bookstore I have ever been to. And USA Today, according to the person who worked inside, USA Today ranked it as the second best used bookstore in the United States, which is pretty cool. The first was somewhere in San Francisco. So for anyone in the San Fran, California area, congrats on having the first best used bookstore, according to USA Today. And so, of course, I was there with one thing on my mind: Star Wars EU. Finding Star Wars EU. So, that's what I was up to. And so I have quite a haul here, still in the bag. And so let's go through this thing. I'll start with the young reader stuff. I got a Star Wars journal. Captive to Evil, which is a new hope from Princess Leia's perspective, from her point of view. It's a scholastic book. It's from Jude Watson, who also wrote the Episode 1 Darth Maul one, which I have right here. She also wrote this, and she obviously wrote Jedi Apprentice and all of those books as well. So I picked this one up in fairly good condition still. I mean, it's alright for what it is. It's not like super great condition, but it's not terrible either. I was pretty happy with the condition of everything. This is Episode 1 Journal, which is so super cool because I didn't know that the Episode 1 journal had printed color pages until today. It's almost like a comic book. It's quite weird. So, Star Wars Episode 1 journal, Queen Amidala. Here's what it looks like on the back. And this is the Episode 1 for Darth Maul up here that has regular pages. This one does not. This one's also by Jude Watson. The pages to this one are glossy, quite surprisingly. And you can see it shining in the reflection of my light here. Good art throughout, some pictures, and it's Episode 1 from her perspective. It's like a sort of diary. It's really quite cool, because it's as if she's written this down like between scenes or entered it into her diary. It's quite cool. The printed pages that are glossy was something I wasn't expecting. So another Episode 1 young reader's novel journal collected. So this is these two. And I also got, and pricing was really good too. Let's see, $1.95 and $1.95 for both of these. Can't beat that. Then I got the Clone Wars Darth Maul Shadow Conspiracy, which is an adaptation, I believe, of a specific arc in the Clone Wars. They did some young readers novels that adapted episodes of the Clone Wars show. This is one of them. I know there's quite a few. There's one that adapts the Boba Fett stuff. So this is the Darth Maul Shadow Conspiracy one. And it says here, based on the hit Clone Wars television show. But I can't remember. I think this is by Ryder Wyndham. I'll look in the front. Oh, it's by Jason Fry, right. So Jason Fry wrote this. Could have taken it to Legends Con if I'd had this. And so this is an adaptation of episodes. What's cool is it's got Darth Maul's face every chapter, which is kind of neat. And it's fairly thick for a young reader's novel. It advertises Ryder Wyndham's Life and Times book series in the back. Lucas Books logo. And yeah, there you have it. Another scholastic young reader's novel. It's a bit thicker than all the others because it's adapting quite a few episodes. So there you go. So those are the young readers novels I picked up. I also picked up a children's book that is technically EU. It just talks about the movies. Star Wars: The Legendary Yoda by Catherine Saunders. And this is a reading 3, which is on the back according to the reading levels. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. 1 is learning to read, or 1 pre-level is learning to read. 1 is beginning to read, 2 is beginning to read alone, 3 is reading alone, and 4 is for proficient readers. With DK readers, children will learn to read, then read to learn. It's got the Lucas Books logo, which feels like a stamp of approval. And here's the spine. I actually didn't get this one at the big bookstore. I got this at the Fayetteville Public Library, which has some really cool stuff at it. It has 3D printers, flight simulators, simulators for driving and for trucks. It had a used bookstore in there. My younger cousin was with me and bought X-Wing Rogue Squadron, which I have here. There was a paperback of it there that he was able to pick up, which was really nice. And this set me back 25 cents at the library, which is really cool. But what this is just Yoda's story. So it just goes through Yoda's life. And I don't really think there's any new lore. It does say that he's from a remote planet, which is a mystery and stuff like that. So, sure, there could be some new stuff in here, but it's mostly just based on the movies and other stuff. I've not looked through it to see if there's any EU references yet. I'll do that at some point, and if there is, I'll probably make a video about it. But it's from 2013, which means it's pre-Disney, so it's part of the Star Wars EU, although there's no expanded material here. It's just based on the movies. That's the kind of thing that Christopher Nelson would get, stuff like this book. But, I mean, I'm not bothered about it. I'm not going to be tracking down every one of them, but when it's 25 cents for a Star Wars book, I guess I'll pick it up. Next is I don't have a lot of hardcovers. I really am lacking in the hardcovers department. I've got these ones up here for Crystal Star and New Rebellion, then Legacy of the Jedi, Jedi Quest, and Secrets of the Jedi. Then I've got Balance Point without a dust jacket, and I've got the Jedi Prince Barnes & Noble hardcover. And now I've got The Courtship of Princess Leia in hardcover, which I already had in Russian hardcover over there, but here it is. It's the wedding dress cover rather than the Rancor cover. And it's got Han and Isolde on it with R2. And I have Courtship somewhere over here in paperback. So I was excited to get this in hardcover. It's really cool. I like the hardcover ones. The dust jacket's still pretty nice overall. There's a couple spots and a couple price tags, but it's still in pretty good condition. And then the book itself is maybe a little more rough around the edges, but it's still pretty good overall. I like to see Dave Wolverton's face on the dust jacket. Very nice. So overall, pretty excited about getting Courtship in hardcover. It's more fun to read books in hardcover because, well, I say that, but I love the size of mass market paperbacks for reading. But I worry less when reading a hardcover because I feel like I don't have to be as careful as when reading with the paperbacks. But yeah, I'll cover the paperbacks I got next. I'm really excited about 2 of these. Oh, man. Okay, well, I'll cover this one first. I got Vector Prime Legends banner. I already have Vector Prime right behind me. I already have Vector Prime, the original copy. And then I saw the Legends banner, and I was like, you know what? For a couple of bucks, I'll pick up a Legends banner edition. Now, this is an ex-library edition, so I'm not sure what can be done about the spine being all libraried up. But, yeah, it's interesting to see, like, the changes to the cover formatting and stuff like that, the difference in logos. So I just picked up the Legends banner copy because why not? When it's like $1 or $2 to to get the other edition. I'm at the point in collecting where I'd love to have a full set of Legends banner and a full set of original. Then I can keep the original editions, the original copies, in really nice condition, and could give out the Legends banner copies to friends so that they can loan out a book to them that they can read. Next is a book that I actually didn't have. I had this book on my Kindle. It was a long time trying to figure out which edition I wanted to get, and I'm probably going to make a video about this book later on because I really like the UK cover, and I'm probably going to get the UK edition. I also really like the 2012 edition that has the short story Restraint in it, which is exclusive to that edition. But this is Darth Maul Shadowhunter from Michael Reeves. Surprise, surprise, I did not have Shadowhunter yet. Just one that escaped my my collection so far that had eluded me in print. I had it on my Kindle, but now I've got it in print. It's a little bit of a beater copy, but still pretty nice overall. Pretty excited to have it. This is probably my least favorite cover of Shadowhunter, but I was really excited to get it nonetheless. Now the next two, I'll just peel the sticker off real quick, or maybe not. Don't want to damage it. I'll do a nicer job later on when I can give it more of my attention. But it's the Alien Chronicles, which are part of the Star Wars Expanded Universe according to Supernatural Encounters. The Alien Chronicles, The Golden One, and The Crimson Claw by Deborah Chester, books 1 and 2. Now, these guys on the back, the Arwen, were featured in the Wizards of the Coast sourcebook. So the connections to Star Wars were already there. Then there's stuff like this was what Lucas Books, or what LucasArts decided to publish, or not LucasArts, Lucasfilm published this instead of Alien Exodus when Robert J. Sawyer's trilogy fell through. They instead wrote Lucasfilm's Alien Chronicles, which started with The Golden One by Deborah Chester. And then there's rumors that this was originally supposed to be in Star Wars, but at the last second they removed all the ties. And I love the start. In the beginning, the Vis ruled over all. So I might try to read these before I finish Supernatural Encounters. Now I've gotten to some parts in Supernatural Encounters that are dealing with these books and incorporating them into the lore, which is really cool. But I'd really like to read the full context with these stories. So this is The Crimson Claw and The Golden One. The Golden One is book 1. The Crimson Claw is book 2. And I don't have book 3 yet. That was not there, but $3.25 each was pretty good. I like the art that's featured in these for the first page. And yeah, these are just really, really quite neat. And I've been looking to get these for a long time on eBay and stuff like that. And I just never done so. I'd always just kind of held off. And finally, I was able to find them. And I was looking all over the store for them. You have no idea how big this bookstore was. It was cluttered. And I spotted them on a shelf together. I was looking for them. I was hoping they were there. And to my delight, they were there. And so I'm very excited to get these. Just removing some stickers from them. I'll set these up here for now. Stick them to my wall and then I'll throw them away in a minute. Okay, so yeah, I was super excited to get these two. I think the spines, the covers are great. They're still in really great condition. I'm really looking forward to reading these ones. Their ties to Star Wars are quite interesting. I'll probably put them up there before Dawn of the Jedi on my shelves. So I'll set those ones over here. Next, I'll go to another picture book. That is The Clone Wars 3D Secrets of the Jedi, or not Secrets of the Jedi, Secrets Revealed, which has Savage Opress with 3D glasses and Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Yoda. It's by Scholastic, and it's an eye-popping 3D. Woo! Exciting. And on the back is the price and new enemies, new secrets. The Clone Wars revealed in 3D. And what's interesting about this one, and it's got the Lucas Books logo. What's interesting about this one is that it's by Pablo Hidalgo, so it feels like it has a little bit of credit. The 3D glasses are still attached to my surprise and delight. And this goes through the Clone Wars, kind of multiple episodes, and tells the story of multiple arcs of Filoni's Clone Wars. Now, there might be a little bit of new lore in here. I've not read it yet, but there is a website called StarWarsReadingOrder.com that only has a timeline and chronological order of all Star Wars EU material, and retellings of the movie it omits, except it has this on there. So there might be a little bit of new stuff in here somewhere. I don't know yet. I've not read it. So I'll, again, do a follow-up video if I find that there is some stuff here. But, yeah, it's just the Clone Wars secrets revealed in 3D. And it just appears to adapt arcs from the show. Moving on to something that I'm quite excited about is Star Wars Phonics, which were learning to read books. This features Darth Vader on this side, this features Yoda, and it is a collection of all 10. I almost bought 2 of these books for $9 on eBay for each of them, because they're included on StarWarsReadingOrder.com as, like, being a part of the series. And they have them listed up in chronological order. This is what's included, and I got all 10 and the workbooks. Well, I think 8 then. Yeah, I got all 10 books and the workbooks for $3. So here's the workbooks. I don't know what's in here yet. I don't think they're lore relevant. And then here's the books that go through the movies. You've got Meet Anakin, which is 1. You've got Jar Jar's Trip, which is number 2. And these are all super thin, no spine. They've got a back, but, I mean, they've got the Scholastic logo. I think it says somewhere not to be sold individually, which might be why they're so expensive individually on eBay. But they're from 2012. So, Book 1, Meet Anakin. Book 2, Jar Jar's Trip. Book 3, Friends to the End, which is weirdly ominous and on the nose that they're friends to the end, given Chewie's fate. Here Comes the Ewoks is Book 4. How to Be a Jedi is Book 5. Sorry, I'm reading it backwards, mirrored in my camera. Book 6 is Chase on Endor. Book 7 is Meet Han Solo. Book 8 is listed on StarWarsReadingOrder.com as having new lore information. I've not read it yet, but I'm excited to find out. And Book 9 is also listed as having new lore. It is Here Comes the Clones. And Book 10 is Use the Force, Luke. It is the shortest and the thinnest by far. So all of these are part of this Star Wars Phonics line, and they're all written by a guy named Quinlan B. Lee. So perhaps a Star Wars fan, maybe, given that Quinlan Voss is a prominent Star Wars character. Quinlan B. Lee wrote all of these. I'll throw the workbooks in at the end. And if there's any interesting lore information in here, I'll definitely be making a video about it. But as it stands, these mostly seem to be movie adaptations. They might have a little bit of new information. But I've been looking to get these for a while, so I was delighted to see a set with all 10 of them. I instantly knew what it was, perhaps to my family's surprise. I'm like getting super excited when I see this collection of phonics books on the shelves, and probably more to their surprise, I knew what it was and have been looking for them. Kind of amusing, but that's kind of the life of us Star Wars EU fans. We're always kind of looking for stuff like this, looking for new droplets. So hopefully there's some interesting stuff in there. And there was the Lucas Books logo on the back of these, so pretty cool. So that's the Star Wars Phonics book set. Then I'll go for, I'll show off these. I have the Attack of the Clones visual dictionary, and I finished off the set with the Episode 1 visual dictionary with Amidala on the cover. I think a lot of people know about these. They're by DK, and I think a lot of people know these or have these. They just like assign names to stuff. They're referenced a lot in some of the books, like pull technology from them, and probably not as much as the cross references, but they're all written quite competently. They're pretty decently done overall. This is by David West Reynolds, who I've never heard of, but that's the Episode 1 one. David West Reynolds did the Attack of the Clones one as well, and he did the visual dictionary for Star Wars, which this one was published in 1998. So this was the first one overall, and did the original 3 movies. Or wait, did it only do A New Hope? I think it did all 3. Yeah, it did all 3. It has stuff for all 3 of the original trilogy. Then in 1999, they published this one. It still has a sticker that says the new film, The Phantom Menace, on it, which is really cool. I don't know if that sticker would be on like one if I got it on eBay, so this is right from back then. Still in pretty good condition overall. I mean, it's kind of hard to destroy these big, sturdy books. I like the Lucas Books logo on the top of the Episode 1 one. It's not on the Star Wars one or the Revenge of the Sith one, but it's up there for the Attack of the Clones one. And it's on the spine, which is cool. And the same for the Attack of the Clones one that I have down here. And then here's Revenge of the Sith one, which is by James Luceno. Very cool. James Luceno, of course, the aficionado for Revenge of the Sith era stuff, practically, with all the writing he's done around there, with Dark Lord and Labyrinth of Evil, and with this as well, which is quite cool. So I've heard good things about the Revenge of the Sith visual dictionary in particular. There's some good stuff, some references in here, so I'm looking forward to tearing into these pages, not literally. So that's finished off my visual dictionary collection, I believe. There might be one for the Clone Wars, but I believe that's all of them, because I previously had the Attack of the Clones one. So kind of nice to complete a set. All of these very cheap, $3, $3, and $6. So very nice. I neglected to say the Phonics was $3 for the Phonics set, and Courtship was $8, which isn't bad. And then this little Clone Wars picture book, if I hadn't said, was $3.95. So, and then all of the paperbacks were like $3.25. So pretty good for all of them. Then I have this one, which is kind of special. The Ewoks and the Lost Children. This is an adaptation of Ewoks Caravan of Courage. Now the spine is a little dinged up. It's been taped over, so that's a little unfortunate. But overall, it's still in pretty good condition overall. I love how like bland everything about this is. I mean, it's just a picture book that was put out in 1985 by Lucasfilm. And it's just got pictures from the Ewoks movies. And it's got a written story for it. So it says, based on the television movie, The Ewok Adventure. And it's adapted by Amy Ehrlich, based on the screenplay by Bob Carew with the story by George Lucas. And it just goes through Caravan of Courage with pictures. The Gorax is in here, of course. So this is really neat to have the story kind of in book form like this. I think this is pretty cool. I'd recommend getting it. It's really fun. Is it the greatest thing? Is it an original story? No, but I mean, it's the Ewoks movies. I love those, you know. So the Ewoks and the Lost Children. And finally, the thing that I'm probably most excited about is and this was $195. And finally, the Star Wars role-playing game from West End Games. How about this? I don't believe this is the revised edition. Well, this is 1996, so maybe it is. Second edition. It is. It's right on the cover. Second edition, revised and expanded from 1996. So this is West End Games RPG. source book, which is just covering really how to play, and your character and stuff like that. So all the good West End game stuff that you come to expect. So this is like the main one for figuring out how to play and stuff like that. And it's so super cool. It's got original artwork. It's got little template stories. Tons of good stuff. Just oozing out of this. I love the West End Games content from Star Wars. It's just absolutely just beautiful. It's some of my favorite Star Wars content. So I do have, this would be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 7th West End Games purchase. The condition is a little beaten up, unfortunately, on the corners. But that's alright. Still, it's West End Games. It's super hard to find this stuff. And the pages are intact, so that's good enough for me. So it was quite a productive and really a cool haul, I think. I got some varied stuff, lots of EU stuff, some Star Wars stuff. I'll throw the rest of these up on here and show them off one more time, and then yeah. So I think it was a pretty good haul. And let me know in the comments what Star Wars EU stuff you've picked up recently. Thank you guys for watching, and I'd recommend going to that bookstore. There was one thing that I didn't purchase, which was Star Wars Visions, which is the art book that establishes like Ahsoka Tano's perhaps canonical expanded universe death. That was there, but it was a little too pricey. It was like $32, so I wasn't going for it. But that was there as well. So I definitely recommend, if you're ever in Fayetteville, go to Dixon Street Bookshop, used and out of print books. It was a fun trip. Had a lot of fun. Ate Whataburger that night and got some cool EU stuff. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know what cool stuff you guys have gotten lately, and let me know what you think of the haul.